If you're looking to start your detailing business or you just started one, this video is for you. It's gonna be more beginner focused in terms of the 5 things you need to know as you start your business. These are in no particular order. I just kind of wrote them down as they came to my head. So 1 is not more important than number 5, but this is a great video if you're just getting started. Number 1 is start with the most basic tools and products, or the tools and product that you already have. Because the issue is, I can open up these cabinets right here. I can open up that cabinet. I can open up this cabinet. I can show you around the shop, and I can show you all the tools and products, the polishers, the pads, the towels, the chemicals, the brushes. I can show you everything that we have here. But this has been accumulated over years, and there's some products that we have here that are more specialty products that, like, we only might need it for like a few times throughout the month. But you take a look at this and you're like, oh man, I need all of this because he's a professional detailer. Realistically, and let me open up this one too because we have all the polishers right here. Realistically, is like on a day-to-day basis, if we're doing like a wash and wax and an interior detail, we're only but grabbing maybe 8 different tools and products, because you don't actually need that many things to do a proper detail, right? Like, even if you're doing a paint correction, you only need 1 polisher if you want to get away with it, with like 2 pads. You don't really need that much. So this premise of like, oh well, I need to go and order thousands of dollars of tools and products in order to be a professional, and I need to go buy pro grade stuff and everything has to be like, cut all of that out. A lot of us are going to start on a very tight budget, right? Maybe you're working a part-time job, full-time job, maybe you're a teacher, maybe you're a firefighter, maybe you just got out of high school, you're going to college, what have you. We're all going to start with a very limited budget, both in time and money. So before you go in and get a credit card or go spend $5,000 on these things, start with the most basic stuff, because even if you purchase 4 polishers and 3 things, your skill level might not even be to that level to where you're able to match what you're purchasing. Meaning, let's say you spend $3,000 on all these tools and products that you think you need. But where you are with your business, meaning you have no customers, and then your skill set stops at like doing a wash and wax and an interior detail, well then you can't even offer those extra services right now, because like you don't have the skill set or the knowledge to do that. So I don't mean like start basic because like, oh, you can only offer the basic. I mean, right now when you're first getting started, if it makes the most sense to say, hey, I have $400 to start with, what can I get from that? Then that is how you're gonna start. As you get a few jobs, you get a bit of money, you reinvest that, you buy one other tool here, another tool there, you upgrade this, you upgrade that. Over time, you'll get to that point. But like, you don't need 80% of this to get started, because you don't have the customers, you don't have the skill set to say, oh, let me go offer a multi-step correction right now and let me do some wet sanding. Like, your business or your skill set isn't at that point. So start off with what you have based off like what's already in your garage and what you know what to do, or spend the least amount of money that you can for the tools and product that you need and go make money. The difference between you spending $500 and $2,000 on tools and products to get started, it's gonna sound funny, but it's not gonna make a difference in your business, because you still need, and I'll talk about this in a later point, you still need customers, paying customers, so you need marketing. And again, you need more reps, more experience in order to get yourself confident and comfortable with certain skills. And if you are looking for more in-depth training on the business side of detailing, and you wanna focus on marketing, sales, and operation, and pricing, and know your numbers, then check out Detailers Growth Academy down below. This is my online training platform where I showed you how to create your own website, how to optimize your Google business profile, how to optimize your website for SEO, how to price your services, and everything on the business side. If you're interested and you want more in-depth business training, check the link down below. Next is, you don't need a pressure washer. I don't know if you can see it. You don't need a pressure washer or a water tank in order to get started. Now, this is coming from me, where the first, I say 6 years, I did not carry a pressure washer or a water tank in my mobile rig. And the reason why I could afford to do that is because most of my customers were at their home location. So I would just use their water and their electrical outlet. Now, I would carry a generator, but oftentimes I would use the customer's power and water in order to get the job done. And 10 out of 10 times, it was never an issue. No one ever said anything about like, oh, well, why are you gonna use my power? Why are you gonna use my water? It was never an issue. And the thing I always say to that is, if you do have a customer who's gonna question you for using their power or water, or they're gonna get some kind of attitude towards you because you are using their power or water? Is that truly the type of customer that you wanna deal with in the first place? Is that someone that you wanna deal with where they're gonna kind of ask for a 10% discount because you're gonna use 1 cent of water from their house in order for you to detail the car? So you definitely do not need a pressure washer or a water tank or a hose reel or anything like that when you're first getting started. And again, a big point about this is like getting started. If you know, if you don't have the space for it, if you don't have the budget for it, it's fine. Now, nowadays, like whether you have a Camry or a Jeep Wrangler or like these smaller vehicles, there's more and more creative ways of fitting a 30-gallon water tank into a small vehicle. That's water pump. That's water. That uses a water pump. Like there's a lot more creative ways now. But don't think like, oh well, I have to save up 3 months in order to go buy my pressure washer or water tank. You don't need that. And on that same note, this is a AR Blue Clean 630. It is, I think, $700 just for the pressure washer itself. It doesn't come with a hose, a gun, a reel, or anything like that. That's just for the pressure washer unit alone. Before this, for many years, I used a Karcher 1700 that cost $150. Stop thinking you need all these crazy tools or these like super expensive things because you're a pro detailer. We bought a $150 Karcher 1700. We upgraded the hose, upgraded the gun, and that one gave us a much better solution and gave us a lot better output versus spending $700 on just this pressure washer plus upgrading everything, which would be mostly around like $1,000. So don't think you have to go and spend so much money on the tools and products when you're just getting started. You can do a lot more than what you think with a lot less. Number 3 is an LLC and insurance is important, but it's not as important as you think it is if you don't do everything properly. For instance, an LLC is not difficult to get. You can go online, you can do it yourself, you pay the state fees and you'll get an LLC. You can get an EIN, that way you can use that for your bank account and everything else. But for instance, like the LLC, it's there for protection, but you also have to make sure you get everything else correct. Meaning you have to open up a business checking account. And all business expenses have to go through your business checking account. You cannot commingle your personal expenses to your business expenses, because then that's what it's called piercing the corporate veil. Meaning if you want protection with your LLC, everything that you run through on that LLC, on your banking account, on your checking account, it has to be business related. You cannot take business funds and go pay something personal, and you can't just be using your personal card to pay off something business and then thinking that you're gonna be able to write that off. Everything you use on the business has to stay within the business. It's a very big caveat to having a properly functioning LLC. And even with that, being a single member LLC will still have its drawbacks, because you are still the LLC alone. If you're a single member, meaning there's just one person, which is you, it doesn't give you full protection around everything. Next is insurance. And again, insurance is good to have because it's good to have. That being said, I have a podcast that I published maybe a few weeks ago now, where I documented some of the damages that we've done to our customers' vehicles over the last like 4 years. And in total, I think I ran it was like around like $1,500, I think it was. And that was over 4 years. With all those damages that we did, we paid it out of pocket because it just made sense to do that. The windshield that we broke, it was $230. That's not gonna break the bank. You're gonna end up paying more in premiums every month versus just paying it outright. We broke a AC vent on a Corolla, $25. We broke a Porsche Macan's door panel trim, $60. What else am I thinking about here? What I'm saying is that if you are being unless you're just being careless and negligent and you just are doing the things you shouldn't be doing, the odds of you like burning a customer's car down or something is not gonna happen. Again, assuming you're being proactive and like you're being diligent about what you're doing. What you think about what's gonna happen in your head versus what actually happens are two completely different things. So I'm not saying insurance isn't bad. What I'm saying is you think, oh my God, what if I turn on a car and accidentally hit the gas instead of the brake, and I hit the owner's house and I break the garage and I damage the car? Like, that's a different type of conversation if that's what you're worried about. But like I said, like if you listen to the podcast, all the time we've ever damaged a customer's vehicle, we just pay out of pocket because, again, whether it's a $200 fix, $50, $60, $300, like that's negligible in terms of like your business should be profitable. You should have money in the account. So covering that cost all the time, like 100% of the time, over the last 4 years that we damaged vehicles, and again, like I think in total it was like $1,500. We just paid out of pocket, and like no big deal. The customers were never mad. Like it's a very straightforward solution because again, like we're not being foolish and like we're gonna wet sand an entire vehicle if we've never wet sanded before, or we're not gonna use a rotary if we've never rotary before, or we're not gonna disassemble an entire vehicle if we have no idea what we're doing. Like before you think about insurance, like take a few steps back and be like, okay, what I'm about to do, am I comfortable and confident in this skill set, and should I actually be doing this, or am I only doing this because I want the money? There's a pretty big difference there. Now, if you're just getting started and you still need help with the detailing side, I would say go heavy on watching YouTube videos. Go out and practice on your personal car, your parents' car, your family's car, whoever. Get more reps in and just keep on doing that. I would not say by default go and pay to go get trained, because oftentimes the trainings are, you know, $1,000, $1,400, $1,800, $2,000, and not that they're bad. Like going to in-person trainings are fantastic. Where I'm getting at is if you're tight on the funds, if you're tight on your time in terms of like going somewhere, YouTube will get you a very far way, because even if you go to an in-person training, the real mastery comes when you get back and you keep on practicing, right? Like you won't go to a 2-day training and be like, now I'm good at doing everything, or now I'm good at polishing, or now I'm good at rotary, or now I'm good at, you know, interior detailing. You go there to learn, to understand the methods and how it's done and see it firsthand, but you still have to come back to your house or wherever and just and keep on practicing. You have to, you know, do free cars, do your personal car, do your coworker's car, do your family's car, do your friend's car, and just get more reps, get more experience, get more repetitions before you go and say, okay, I'm gonna go spend $1,500 on a training. Because then, again, big picture, if we're tying this all together, you can practice on your own, and let's say you're gonna go get trained somewhere for $1,500. You got to pay for the flight, pay for hotel. So to go there and come back, let's say you're spending $3,000, let's say. Well, if you just spend time watching YouTube videos and learning how to do it yourself and implementing yourself and doing the best you can and just figuring out on your own with on YouTube videos, DMing detailers, watching people on Instagram. Well, now let's say you save that $3,000 and then you use that to start running ads on Google or Meta on Instagram and Facebook. And now instead of spending $3,000 to go get trained and come back, and you come back and you still have no customers, you learn yourself, you spend that $3,000 on marketing that gets your phone to ring, that gets people wanting to book with you, you get money from there, and that's how you actually grow your business. So training is absolutely fine. We've gone to 3-4 trainings now, like in-person trainings. We pay for training. But it's not something that I would say, oh, hey, if you're just getting started, yeah, you need to go pay for in-person training. No, like you have to be smart of how you allocate your time and money, and more so probably when you're first getting started, your money. So I wouldn't say go and get trained. Like you can do a lot by just watching YouTube videos or people on social media and practicing on your own. As a whole, like detailing is not that difficult in terms of like learning how to do 80% of it on your own. Interior detailing, prepping a car, polishing, paint correction, ceramic coating, you can get 80% of the way there. The last 20% is where you'd go for training and be like, hey, you know, I've been doing this. I have a very specific question about this part of the process. How should I do that? That's where training really comes into play. But if you're going to a training completely new with no experience, with no baseline of actually doing the work, you're not gonna really learn much. Like it's better to go get trained once you have like a baseline understanding or have some experience underneath your belt, because now you can really learn and understand what they're teaching. Versus when you go to a training and like they're just teaching you the absolute basics because all you know is like nothing, if that makes sense. So really invest in learning from YouTube, more importantly, go out there in your garage and practice, practice and practice and practice, because that will help you a lot more than going to a training and then just teaching you the absolute basics. So training is great, there's just a time and place for it. And the last point here is the biggest issue you're gonna run into that you need to solve, and the quicker you solve this, the faster you're gonna grow, is marketing. Everything else around your business revolves around getting people to call you and contact you about your services. If you want to get better at sales, you need to generate leads. If you want to increase your prices, you need to generate leads. If you want more experience detailing and try different things, you need more leads, because those lead to more you talking to more people, getting more cars booked on the schedule, being able to work and get more hands-on experience on your customers' vehicles. So the biggest hurdle you're gonna have to navigate is getting your phone to ring, marketing. Now in 2025, going into 2026, there are about 5 core ways of getting customers. SEO, which is search engine optimization, and then / your Google business profile. There's organic posting on Instagram or TikTok. There's paid ads on Google Ads or Meta Ads, which would be Instagram or Facebook. And then there's gonna be your other standard ones of referrals and word of mouth. Those are the main core functions of attracting customers into your business. Our number one marketing channel for us is gonna be SEO, search engine optimization. We also run Google Ads. We are also active, we're also active on our social media accounts, and we generate leads through there. So every channel works if you put the time and energy to make it work. It doesn't matter how much time you spend detailing a car outside or how many times you practice. You can become the best detailer in your area, but if you don't have people finding you online and calling you or emailing you or texting you that they want your services, you're gonna have a very, very, very difficult time growing your business and making the money you wanna make, because no one knows who you are. Now you can go to 5 different classes and become an authorized installer and have these accolades and have these training and have these certificates. But if people can't find you online and they're calling your competitors and they're booking with your competitors and you're just alone, not with an empty schedule, it doesn't matter how good you are. So you're gonna have to spend an enormous amount of time on the marketing side. And again, pick your channel. It could be paid ads, it could be SEO, it could be organic social media. Like, they all work. They will all generate leads if you put in the appropriate amount of time and energy to make it work. If you half-ass ads, if you half-ass SEO, if you half-ass social media, guess the kind of results you're gonna get. Pretty self-explanatory. So don't jump from one channel, do this for 1 week, go over here, do this for 2 weeks, go over here, do this for 1 day, go over here for 2 days, go over here for 3 weeks, and go over here for 1 month. You pay this agency for 1 month, pay this agency for 2 months, you try this yourself. It's not gonna work out like that. You have to invest the time and energy, and I would highly, highly, highly recommend you choose one marketing channel and you become the master of it. Don't just outsource it immediately. I think it's super beneficial and impactful for you to become the master of one platform. I don't mean all of them, I mean one of them. If you're gonna post on TikTok and Instagram, become the best person at TikTok and Instagram. Learn how to create content, learn how to use trends and audio and how to do edit. Like, learn how to do that, because you have to become a master of marketing, because that's what's gonna get the phone to ring.